They say every street has a story, but this one begins with a contrast no one paid attention to. A house that always sounded dense, and a boy who never made a sound inside it. In a neighborhood full of voices, he moved like a shadow, seen but never truly noticed. People waved at each other every morning, called out names from their balconies, argued over parking, laughed too loud, lived too loud, and somewhere inside that noise lived a child who carried his world in silence. At home, he answered everything with small gestures, a nod when his mother asked if he ate, a shrug when his father asked about school, a soft glance toward the floor when his sister tried to make him smile. No one remembered the last time he spoke. Maybe he did once, long ago, before the raised voices, before the arguments that stretched late into the night, before tension became the language of the house. Silence for him wasn't a choice. It was something he grew into, something that formed slowly, like snow layering over a field until the ground disappears. He learned that words could make storms worse, but quietness never hurt anyone, so he stayed quiet. Outside, people built their own explanations. Teachers called him shy, neighbors called him odd, kids called him the boy who doesn't talk. Labels came easy when no one knew the truth. They assumed he preferred being alone. They assumed he feared people. They assumed he didn't want connection. Assumptions always fill the spaces where questions should be. But even in silence, he paid attention to everything. The way footsteps change when someone is worried. The way a room shifts when people argue. The way small things, tiny things, can change an entire day. He noticed more in silence than others did in all their talking. The turning of everything began on an afternoon that looked ordinary. The sun half hidden behind thick clouds, children tossing a ball outside the corner store, old men discussing nothing in particular near the bench with peeling paint. Ordinary in every way, until someone screamed. Smoke curled out from the second-floor window of the aging apartment building, dark and fast, swallowing the sky in thick spirals. Panic rushed through the crowd. Fear has a way of freezing time. People shouted for help. Others backed away. Children cried. Someone said the fire department was on its way, but everyone understood it wouldn't be soon enough.
Inside that burning apartment was a little girl, trapped behind a door swollen from heat. Her mother tried to run in, but two neighbors held her back. The hallway was already filled with flames. The staircase was unstable. Every second weighed like a lifetime. That was when the boy moved. No one saw him decide. No one heard him speak, because he didn't. He just stepped forward, slipping past the crowd with a calmness that didn't fit the chaos. Maybe it was instinct. Maybe it was the years spent surviving storms that taught him what to do when others froze. Maybe courage had always lived inside him, hidden beneath everything he never said. He disappeared into the side entrance of the building, the one with the loose railing he passed every day on his way to school. Heat hit him instantly, thick and merciless. The hall was dark with smoke, but he followed the sound of crying, a thin, trembling sound, small enough to almost vanish. He found her in the corner near a fallen beam. She looked up at him through tears and ash. He didn't give her comforting words. He didn't have any. Instead, he knelt beside her, lifted the beam just enough for her tiny body to slip out, and wrapped his arm around her shoulders, shielding her from sparks. Every step back felt endless. The crackling ceiling, the smoke clawing at his lungs, the floor trembling under their feet. But he kept moving, kept guiding her, kept choosing forward even as the building groaned behind them like it was ready to collapse. When they stumbled out into daylight, the world erupted. The mother screamed with relief. Neighbors rushed toward the girl, grabbing her, hugging her, crying. Others crowded around him, asking how he got inside, asking what he saw, asking why he didn't wait for help. He didn't answer. He couldn't. He bent over, coughing, trying to catch his breath, eyes watering from more than just smoke. And in that silence, people finally understood something they had never tried to understand before. They saw someone who acted without being asked, someone who moved without seeking attention, someone who carried courage so quietly that no one noticed it until it was burning right in front of them.
The story spread fast. By evening, every house on the block knew. By morning, the entire neighborhood knew. People who once looked past him now looked toward him. People who once whispered now spoke to him with gratitude. He became the child everyone wanted to know, the child everyone admired, the child who saved a life. But the biggest shift happened in the house where he spoke the least. His father, who often looked tired and stern, sat beside him that night, unsure how to start. His mother placed food in front of him with hands that trembled. His sister watched him like she was noticing him for the first time. The room felt different, like something fragile had begun to heal. For the first time in years, he tried to speak. The words came out small, rough, almost scared to exist. "I'm fine." Two simple words, but in that house, they sounded louder than any argument, louder than any silence he had ever hidden inside. They broke something open, not in a dramatic way, not in a magical way, but in a human way, the way healing often begins. He didn't become talkative overnight. He didn't transform into someone completely different. Silence still lived in him, but it no longer felt like a prison. It felt like a place he could choose, not a place he was trapped in. And the neighborhood, long after the fire, kept telling the story of the boy who never spoke at home, the boy everyone misunderstood, the boy who rushed into flames when grown adults hesitated, the boy who proved that sometimes the quietest people carry a bravery louder than anything they could ever say.